The lights of the carpet flash in every direction, catching the glow on Amelia Gray Hamlin's face as she smiles over toward one particular corner, where her new boyfriend, Nicolai Marciano, stands quietly watching. The warmth in her expression gives away everything before she even opens her mouth. When she's asked to tell the story of the man she keeps glancing toward, her entire energy shifts into something soft, almost glowing. She laughs, points across the room at him, and says with that unmistakable mixture of pride and affection, "Man, he's over there. He's so cute. Look at him." And even in the chaos of cameras and bright lights, you can feel how real the moment is. She talks about how she watched him taking photos of her earlier, how it felt like he looked at her as if she were the hottest girl in the room, something that clearly made her heart swell. Her voice turns even warmer as she admits just how much she loves him. She reveals that their story isn't a typical Hollywood love-at-first-sight moment. It's deeper, rooted in years of familiarity. She says she's known Nicolai for nearly 15 years, maybe more. Growing up in Los Angeles, where celebrity kids mingle in the same circles, her world often overlaps with others in unexpected ways. She explains that he used to ride the school bus to middle school with her sister, so their connection goes far back into the days when they were still just kids. They weren't dating then, but they grew up within reach of one another, orbiting in the same world without things ever aligning. Only years later, when life finally gave them the perfect moment, did everything fall seamlessly into place. She calls it divine timing, the kind that feels like the universe nudged two people toward each other when they were finally ready. And tonight, she says, is a milestone, her very first time stepping onto a carpet with someone she loves this deeply. You can hear the mixture of disbelief and gratitude as she describes it as a big, special moment, one she'll probably remember forever. She points out how meaningful it is that they are both wearing Tom Ford for this event, a brand designed by Haidider Acriman, a designer they've both adored for years. She talks about how the dream started with something simple, the idea of one day sharing a moment like this together, walking a carpet as a couple wearing a designer who meant something to them, and now, here they are, living the exact dream they once whispered about. When she's asked about whether she thinks about the next steps in the relationship, the shift in her voice says more than her words do. She blushes slightly, takes a breath, and admits something she's never felt before. She says that for the first time in her life, she's genuinely thinking about things like planning a dream wedding. It's a quiet, heartfelt confession, and she keeps her answer brief, almost protective of the sacredness of the moment. But what she does reveal is enough to show just how deeply connected she feels to him. The conversation then moves into the world of fashion, and she's immediately energized. She reflects on the Victoria's Secret fashion show, describing it as an unforgettable experience. A moment where the level of slayage, as she calls it, was off the charts. She talks about how she has worked hard to foster the feminine confidence she carries so effortlessly on the runway. When she's strutting under bright lights, wearing barely anything but strategically placed fabrics and threads, the world watches her with fascination. But she makes it clear that confidence doesn't come from perfection, it comes from intention. She says the energy she wants to embody on the runway is one that makes other women feel confident too. That she wants her presence to say, "You can feel powerful in your skin, just like this." She knows it isn't easy, she knows the world is scary, judgmental, and often unforgiving. But she wants her presence to be a reminder that beauty and confidence come from within. She laughs when the interviewer jokes about how models walk down the runway holding on to outfits made of practically dental floss, and she agrees. She admits she's barely hanging on, even in the current moment, but she doesn't let fear take over. She says she just has fun, and the Victoria's Secret runway? She calls it the most fun she's ever had in her modeling career. Her laughter is infectious as she describes how exhilarating it feels to be part of something so iconic and so watched. The conversation shifts again to the incredible rise in her career. From Milan Fashion Week to Paris Fashion Week, she has become one of the most in-demand models in the industry. Every major designer is calling. She's walking show after show, runway after runway, soaking in opportunities she once only dreamed about. Yet instead of sounding jaded or overly confident, she sounds genuinely stunned. She says every single day feels like a pinch-me moment, the kind of surreal experience where she wakes up thinking, "What is happening? Is this really my life?" She pauses and adds that being at this stage in her career, while also sharing it with her boyfriend by her side, feels like an additional blessing she never expected. She goes back to talking about Tom Ford and how meaningful tonight's moment is for her. She emphasizes that Haidider Acriman has been one of her favorite designers from the very beginning of her fashion journey. Wearing his designs tonight, while experiencing this milestone with someone she loves, has transformed the evening into a memory she knows she'll hold on to forever. She expresses an enormous amount of gratitude, not the fake, rehearsed kind, but the genuine gratitude of someone who has worked hard, struggled with self-image, and finally feels seen and celebrated. As the interview continues, she's complimented for the fierce confidence she brings to every runway moment. The interviewer tells her she admires how strong she appears, how effortlessly confident she looks while walking in front of the world. Amelia's face softens again. She says she hopes the confidence she exudes inspires other women, that she truly wants it to rub off. She wants people watching her to feel empowered, the way she had to learn to empower herself. When she's asked what inspires her, she gives a surprising yet refreshingly honest answer. She says she's inspired by the fact that she simply doesn't care, meaning she doesn't let outside opinions shape her. She doesn't waste time thinking about who approves of her or who doesn't. She focuses on how she feels, how confident she is, and whether she is proud of the choices she makes. That's what matters to her. She nods firmly and repeats that her confidence is internal, not based on anything external. This naturally leads into a discussion about navigating headlines, gossip, and online chatter, things she's been surrounded by since childhood. But she doesn't flinch. She says she truly doesn't care what other people think. She admits it can be hard at times, especially when the world seems more critical than ever, but she adds that her father always taught her something important. He used to say, "What other people think of you is none of your business." She repeats it with a kind of calm wisdom, acknowledging that he was absolutely right. She says she lives by that advice now, refusing to let other people's perceptions define her or distract her from the path she's on. Toward the end of the conversation, the interviewer asks what she wants fans to know about the next era of Amelia Gray. Her eyes brighten mischievously, and she says this next chapter is very different from anything she's done before. She teases that something new is coming, something big, and that fans will just have to wait and see. She hints at transformation, growth, and a shift in how she wants to show up in the public eye. She says she feels happy, blessed, and excited for what's next, even though she isn't quite ready to reveal the details. The entire interview paints a portrait of a young woman stepping into her power, emotionally, creatively, romantically, and professionally. Amelia Gray Hamlin is in a moment of real evolution. She's navigating major designer runways, global fashion moments, and a relationship rooted in years of familiarity that has blossomed into something truly meaningful. She's celebrating confidence, independence, and gratitude, while also promising that what's coming next will be unlike anything her audience has seen before. And as the camera pans over to Nicolai Marciano, still watching her quietly from across the carpet, you can feel why this moment means so much to her. She's living a dream, from love to fashion to personal growth, and she's doing it all with grace, honesty, and a glowing sense of purpose.